that's what we've just seen. We've reenacted film history in-game. Hey Technofreaks, Techno Odin here, and welcome back to Hunting Grounds Analyzed, the simple coaching series where we strive to improve our hunting potential. Today we are back in Derailed with Dark Tharian, a bow-wielding berserker who believes that his aim with the bow is one of, if not his biggest flaw in his game. So, let's look into the build. Now, as we already said, he has the bow, but he's also wielding the combi stick, so let's throw out all our Berserker combi stick memes and get that out the way. We good? Good. For gear, he is running the health kit, fur trap, and motion detector, which is pretty much the bread, butter, and jam, or jelly if you're American, of the Berserker gear set. Now, it's the perks that are really piquing my interest. It looks like you're trying to cover the Berserker's flaws, and in turn also trying to make sure that you don't give your position away too much. The Berserker has terrible energy levels, and the cloak just drains that, so using Lightbender to mitigate that cloak drain and modified reserves to boost that energy regen, it's a good idea. Dithered lens though is kind of pointless. If you're going to use the plasma caster, most of the time you're going to block the beam as much as possible and then just throw it out as a shot. That's the pressure. Usually the big bread and butter and jam of the perk system for the Berserker would be impenetrable, large pouch, and either of the damage buffs, fearless or downranged. Because impenetrable means more damage you can take, large pouch means more gear you can take, and the two damage buffs equal more damage you can deliver. But otherwise we'll just have to see how this works in action. So let's get to it. Okay, so when are we going to use the map? This is the main thing I noticed, map usage. You've got this huge cutscene and not many people are utilizing the fact that you have, right, so yeah, as I was saying, not many people are utilizing the fact that you have 15 seconds of map time before the match even starts. Because you can look at that map through all that cutscene, you have enough time to plan where you need to go. Now for me, because we're in the north, I'd be going straight to my right, cutting behind the helipad and going straight into that main building to look for the radio. By that time, the target isolation scan should be working, and then we can check out where the enemy is and plan our route accordingly. But let's see how we go. Okay, so we've missed that point, and yeah, motion detector's fine. Getting your motion detector and looking where you are. Right, okay. So you've taken the more long route, but if you'd have leaped over that rock, you'd have been right onto the helipad, and then you could have just leaped again once you had your stamina back and got into that building. But it's fine. That's an okay place to put your motion detector, but again, we've missed out on a radio point, and our target isolation scan is ready. So I'd have used it now. I'd have used it before we got to this camp, because I need to know where the fire team is. Right, there's no radio there, so still, we haven't used the target isolation system. And now we're going to use up another motion detector. And now we've leaped, and now we've used... Okay, right. So let's just look at this. We now know where they are. So just going through it. We know they've come at least from the southeast or east area. We have taken 40 seconds to actually use our target isolation system. It takes 5 seconds for the fire team to mud up. And in this case, we are lucky. Now, we have used the target isolation system so late that we've also now wasted a motion detector. Where we have placed our motion detector is where we are. You want that motion detector where they are. The coolest thing about the motion detector is we can throw it a good distance. Enough distance that from here, we can yeet that thing all the way into the lumberyard, which is where it looks like they're coming to. And our motion detector would be coming up to that north entrance. Now, unfortunately, we're not doing that. and I don't actually know what the plan is. What's the plan? Where are you gonna go? You've got all this cover. Like, look at this cover. You've got enough cover to get behind them. And that's what you want to do. What you don't want to do is do what you're gonna do, and yeah, they've probably seen you. You just gave your position away. Yep, definitely gave your position away. Now, okay, what are you gonna do? You just right, okay, no, stop. Look at you. Okay, so guys, you remember the final act of 87 Predator? When Arnie fires the bow at the claymores where the Predator's standing, the big explosion, and then the Predator just panic fires and just lights up the entire jungle? That's what we've just seen. We've reenacted film history in game. So, right, the big problem here is you leapt to a building they are running to. When standing still, you are completely invisible. When in motion, even in cloak, you stick out like a sore thumb. The refraction of the cloak just gives you away. And unfortunately, they were ready to just light you up. It could be just because you're getting shot at as well. But where you're aiming at, they're walking backwards and you haven't adjusted your aim at all. You're aiming at the floor. And now you're just doing pop shots of the cannon, which is not good use of the cannon either. A full charge shot would have been more dangerous to them than pot shots. And now we're in a point where we're having to run away. And as well, we're running quite a distance. We didn't need to run this far. All we needed to really do was drop off at the back of the building we were on, run across to the other building, leap up there and kind of use the cover of that big building to heal. But anyway, we're still fine. I mean, okay, you're really going far. Like, you're in the south camp. Why are you this far? You don't need to be this far. Well, okay, so we'll just get through this healing. I think also learning to cancel your heal would do you a lot of good, because that was a lot of time wasted when you were near enough full health. So yeah, now that's fine. Throwing a motion detector there is fine. You don't know if they're gonna need it, and they look like they're in the north camp anyway, so it's okay. That's fine. That's gonna be useful. Now, for me, I'd probably go get a boar just in case, but where you are now, it's an okay position. You can use the rock there to kind of fire pot shots, get some pressure in. Try and see where they are, and admittedly, I'm not, like I said, this was the downside of where you planted your... I'm going to pause just here. This is the downside of where you planted your motion detector. It's nowhere. It's nowhere where they really need to go. The center of the building or the main entrance is the pinnacle point to do it. There's not much to actually utilize in that point, and you're not getting enough kill markers. Like, there's only one person gone there. So what are you gonna do? Whoa, okay. Right. No. 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 This is what gets most Berserkers the bad rep. You've just jumped in, not knowing where any of the fire team are. You've seen that one guy. You've just jumped in blind. You've gone into a building blind. And there were guys there. Now these guys could be lighting you up. I don't even know what they're doing, but two have already seen you and are lighting you up. And that is brain dead by the fire team member. You just saw it. You just saw him put the trap down. He just saw you put the trap down. Both his guys saw you put the trap down. Like, even then, that was dangerous. Look how low you are on health. Just because the Berserker has the most health doesn't mean you get reckless. The Berserker plays the exact same way as every Predator. You play stealthy. The best Berserker is the stealthy Berserker that doesn't rush in. He uses the fact that he has a lot of health to wear down the opponent, so then his rush in is easier. Right now, you are in a very dangerous situation, and I don't know why you're hanging here. Like, where you are now, I would not be. And I would not be trying to heal up on the ground. I mean, fair enough, you've got a trap there, but I would not heal up on the ground. That is a very poor place to be healing up. All it takes is one person to, is the team to come down behind you from that angle, and you are done. And you, again, you are lucky because these guys don't seem to know where to go either. Neither of you seem to be knowing what you do, where to go in this situation. It's like, it's a panic. It's like an absolute panic. Both of you are both you and the fire team are in absolute panic here. That was a nice shot. That was an even good shot. Right. So why have we switched? The bow was working. Why have we switched? And okay, so we're now running away. That's fair enough, but why did we need to switch? We didn't really need to switch. We were doing quite well. We could have switched angles. We could have changed our where we fired from. Made our game a little easier. But we didn't need to switch the bow. You need to stop giving up on the bow. Your aim is not too bad. Right, so okay. There they are. Looks like they're going to the south camp now. I'm guessing that's where the radio is. See, we don't know where the radio is, and this is, again, what is he doing? Why did he stop and, like, PlayStation players, us console, it makes me feel bad to be a console player at times. Right. So, let's just go back. This is where your main problem is. You're not charging your shots. If we look at this now, your trajectory's off. You're just doing little quick shots and they're just dipping. Charge those shots and you'd have hit him with that last one at least. But let's see. So outside of this, it's been pretty I'm gonna say it's been pretty standard Berserker play. Look, we're going straight back to the combi stick. I know we're going about the meat. Oh, okay, that was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. But now we got it back. So this went from being like, you know, bow play, but it's derailed into standard Berserker combi stick action. Every kill has been a Berserker combi stick. And there we go. Right. So deep down, your aiming in general could be better. But the main thing is your decision making. When you're using the bow and when you're using the cannon, you're not taking shots from a distance and adding pressure to the enemy. You're jumping into places where they're just going to spot you and fire at you, and then you're expecting yourself to be able to fire at them while under pressure. You're not making your job easier. The other problem is you're not using your target isolation system early enough. You wasted a lot of resources before you even knew where the opponent was. And because you didn't know where they were coming from, you couldn't plan where you were going to go. And you ended up just meeting them head on, which got you into a lot of trouble that you struggled to get out of. And I think your biggest concern is map knowledge. In any game, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Predator Hunting Grounds, knowing the map and knowing the shortcuts and little intricacies of each map separates the good from the bad. My advice is to go into private matches and look for these little intricate places that you can either leap over or slide under as the Predator, and find shortcuts to the camps. Then practice going through those shortcuts, trying to get the time shorter and shorter. If you can get to the camp and do what you need to do just before your target isolation scan is ready, you're laughing. And that should be said for every map, not just derailed. And I can definitely see you improve. Okay guys, that's it for today's analysis. If you like what you've seen and you want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell thingy, and share this video. Also, if you guys want me to check out your matches, don't forget to follow the on-screen instructions. And until that day, this has been Techno Odin. Stay home, stay safe.